We have big news from the Capitol, where the House of Representatives just passed nearly all of Governor J.B. Pritzker's agenda. Good evening. I'm Emily Braun. There's a lot to unpack here in a budget deal, new taxes, legal sports betting one step closer, and a Danville casino in the mix. We've got team coverage on this tonight. WCIA3's Mark Maxwell is live in Springfield. WCIA3's Miranda Meister is standing by in the newsroom. First to Mark. So, Mark, this all came together in the last few hours.
Emily, good evening. It took overtime. Lawmakers were supposed to be done here yesterday, May 31st. So we're calling this May 32nd. But at the end, right before the House let out, Speaker Michael Madigan said that what they got done here this session was historic. He would know. He's been here roughly 50 years legislating in Springfield. Tonight, the House approved almost every item on Governor Pritzker's agenda, the things he campaigned on, even the tough stuff. A balanced budget, check. Legal sports betting, check. Expanding casinos, including the largest one in the nation in Chicago, check. Plus, new taxes. Those are the toughest votes there. The House voting to double a gas tax, hike cigarette taxes by $1 up to $1.98, and to modernize the internet sales tax. It's also important to point out some of these new taxes will fund major projects, road repairs, bridges, infrastructure. And if you're flinching at some of these new taxes, one of the most conservative Republicans in the House, Representative Margo McDermott, said she's never voted for a tax increase before, but she said this could have been much worse. She said the GOP negotiated and killed a bag tax, a streaming or Netflix tax. Beer, wine, liquor tax hikes were on the table. Those got killed, and a real estate transfer tax. At the end of the day, Governor Pritzker negotiated with House Republican leader Jim Durkin in a compromise and gave Republicans several tax breaks and incentives for businesses to grow jobs in the area. I also reported online, and I don't think yet on air, that Governor Pritzker went back on one of his campaign promises to kill the scholarship tax credits for poor kids in public schools to get into private schools. He said as long as the state fully funds education, which it plans to do, he's going to allow that program to continue, all of it part of a deal. The Senate gets in tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and that's when they wrap all this up. So it's important to point out again, the House just takes the first step here, but right now, all signs are pointing toward a historic first 4 months and big changes in Illinois under this new governor. Live at the State House, Mark Maxwell, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Mark, you covered a lot of ground there, and we know there's certainly going to be plenty to keep our eyes on tomorrow as well. All right, thank you so much for that. The sports betting and casino expansion bill has big implications for the city of Danville. If it passes in the Senate, it's on its way to the governor's desk, which means all bets are on that Danville can get a casino. WCIA3's Miranda Meister is live in the newsroom now. So, Miranda, this is a familiar topic for the city.
Emily, this has come up at least a couple other times in the past. I spoke with Mayor Ricky Williams about the possibility, and he says he doesn't want to comment unless Governor Pritzker signs the bill into law. He did share with me during his 10 years on council, he can't remember a time it was discussed seriously. And that's the majority of the aldermans. They agree with him, too, saying the same thing. A riverboat would be located near downtown, so I stopped by some of the businesses that are located down there. I spoke with the people, and they say they want it to come to Danville.
We've been hoping for a while now, especially with them developing the riverfront property, that we would get a casino, because I really think it'll probably quadruple business easily.
The bill passed in the House 87 to 27, and now it's up for the Senate to pick up tomorrow afternoon. Former Danville Mayor Scott Eisenhower told me last week this isn't the first time that the idea of a Danville casino has made it this far in the Capitol. 2 or 3 times in the past, similar bills have been passed in both the House and the Senate, but they were vetoed by the governor. But Governor Pritzker says that won't be the case this time. Live in the newsroom, Miranda Meister, WCIA3, your local news leader.
All right, Miranda, thank you so much for that. And finally, out of the Capitol, lawmakers passed an act that's a direct opposite of abortion laws recently passed by other states. Late last night, lawmakers passed a measure that states an egg, fetus, or embryo does not have individual rights, and it's a woman's right to choose to have a baby or not. WCIA3's Gabrielle Franklin has more.
When Governor Pritzker took office, he promised to make Illinois the most progressive state for abortion rights. As session ends, he and lawmakers are celebrating the passage of a bill they say will ensure women in this state always have the right to choose.
Having received the required constitutional majority, the Senate does concur in House Amendment number 1 to Senate Bill 25, and the bill is declared passed.
It was an emotional night for those for and against the Reproductive Health Act, supporters hailing the passing as a win, while lawmakers against the measure called it unnecessary, saying a bill that passed under the Rauner administration already ensures protections and coverage for reproductive health in Illinois.
House Bill 40 already ensures that abortions would remain legal in Illinois even if Roe v. Wade were overturned. This is not about keeping abortion legal. It's about radically expanding what is allowed under the law.
Bill sponsors say this bill is still needed, not to expand abortion, but to safely treat it like any other health care, as the future of the practice is challenged around the nation.
We're not going back. We're not going back to coat hangers. We're not going back to dying because we've made a decision. We're not going back. And I am proud to say that Illinois is a beacon for women's rights.
Governor Pritzker says he looks forward to signing this bill into law. At the Capitol, Gabrielle Franklin, WCIA 3, your local news leader.